Well, good morning, Quirky Birders. It's Lynn here, and a very happy new year to you all. I thought I would sit and record your very first daily art challenge of 2021. And I just thought we'd do this very simple little cottage scene. So I've got my line drawing all ready and prepared. I've taped my paper directly to my board. My paints are ready. I've got my water, some kitchen paper, and I'm ready to paint. So I just thought it'd be quite sweet to do something like this, and just get back into the rhythm of painting again. So today we're going to just make a start with putting some of the grey tones into the painting. So we're going to be working on the roof of the little cottage. We're also going to be working on the roof of the porch, and also putting in a little bit of the detail on the actual the driveway up to the approach of the cottage. So let's just jump straight in and make a start. Now this little cottage is going to remain white, so we're actually going to use the white of the paper to be the white of the background of our little cottage. But we're going to be building and working on the painting from light to dark, so we're just going to be putting in a base colour to begin with. And I'm going to be just making a start with mixing a little bit of Payne's Grey into my palette. So I've got my palette here, and I'm just mixing a little bit of the Payne's Grey directly into the palette, because to begin with we want a nice light watery almost like a wash on the painting, and then we will build up the colours as we go. Okay, so once you've got the grey mixed into your palette, if you want to lighten it ever so slightly, you can add in a little bit of white. So I'm just going to mix a little bit of white into there as well. And then we can make a start by just popping in some colour along the roof of our little cottage. Now I just want to put some little darker areas of shading into the painting, so I'm going to pay particular attention to around the chimney, and I'm going to work with the darker layers of colour towards the right hand side of the painting. Now it's at this point you can decide on your composition of your painting. If you would like there to be a little bit of snow on the painting, then now's your opportunity to just apply that sort of frosty layer of snow, and you can actually use the paper to allow that to happen. But I'm just going to keep it probably a little bit sort of spring-like, I think. So I've just wet my brush, and now I'm just going to manipulate that paint just to exactly where I want it to be. So I just want it to be concentrating on the outer edges and also up against those chimney stacks. Like so. And I'm just going to do the same along the actual roof line of the porch. And just keep that a little bit darker. And then we can use a little bit of the grey just in that little entrance, that porch entrance. Like so. And now I want to put a little bit of detail just along our little driveway. So all I'm going to do is just using that grey is just literally just scribble my way along this corner of the painting. Need to allow that paper to work for you as well. Like so. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we just need to work a little bit on the actual sky. I'm just going to take up that excess that's sat on that roof at the moment though, just bear with me. It's better. Now what we're going to do is we need to work on the sky. So our little cottage is sat right on the coast. So we've got a little bit of sea here on this horizon line, and then we've also got our little sort of mountain sort of hill, and then we're going to just work on the wash on the sky. Now for the wash of the sky, I'm going to mix a little bit of the ultramarine blue. So I've just got some of the ultramarine blue going into my palette. Now I'm just going to lighten that up ever so slightly. So I'm going to use a little bit of the white. So I've just got sort of a grey sort of bluey colour that's really going to be sort of quite nice for that sky. Just going to pop a little bit more blue into there. So when it comes to the sky, one of the first things that you're going to do is just apply a little bit of a wash. Now I've just got here a broad flat brush, and I'm just going to apply quite quickly a layer of water to that sky, just being careful around my little house. And also around where I've just painted along the roof of the little cottage. So I'm just coming down by the side of the hill there, and then along the horizon line. You don't want to saturate the paper, but you do just want to get it wet, and then you're going to be working quite quickly because again you're working wet on wet. So just using just your normal size 6 brush, you can then just apply that colour. Try and keep your paint strokes directional so they're all going the same way. And just be careful where you've just been applying the paint to the roof of your cottage. So you need to completely fill that lovely space of where the sky is with that lovely blue mix. So coming right down to the horizon line where your sea is, and then also follow that line where you're going to be putting in those cliffs. Now what you can do while that's actually still wet is take a little bit of your kitchen paper and just scrunch it up into a little ball. And then what you can do is you can just use that little bit of kitchen paper and just scrub at your sky and just create some little fluffy clouds. Again, you've got to work quite quickly for this. But don't forget to tail those clouds off so they're not just looking like big balls of cotton wool. And you should be able to create a lovely soft effect of a lovely cloudy sky, like so. Okay. Now the next thing that we can do, just in this first little episode, is we can put in some colour along our sea. So again, what I'm going to do is just take my broad brush and again just wet that entire area of where the sea is going to be. Like so. And this time you want the sea to have a touch of green to it, so to that mixture that I've used for the sky, I've just popped in a little bit of peak green just into that lovely grey bluey colour. And you just want to mix it so you've just got, with a little bit of blue, so you've just got a lovely sort of aquamarine-y sort of sea colour. It's gone quite petrol-y, so let's add a little bit of yellow. There we go. And this is what it's all about. When you're doing something like this, it's just all about just playing with those colours and just getting those colours to work best for you. So you can just have some fun with your different mixes. Okay, so using that green, I'm just going to pop in a little bit of the sea. And I'm going to also add in a little mix of the blue as well, so that just sort of blends all in together. Come right the way down to the edge of your garden. And then again, you can use your screwed up kitchen paper just to create a bit of a different effect on your sea. Now, bearing in mind that this is just the base layer, we're actually going to be building up the details and the colour as we go. I'm quite happy with those tones of colour in there. You can see that I've got a little bit of the green, and I've also got some of the blue, and we can build up our colours from this point. So that's pretty much it for today. I want you to just concentrate on putting this base layer of grey onto the roof of your cottage and also onto the actual driveway. Work on the very simple technique of the wash and the paper towel to create some wonderful details of sky and the clouds. And then also do the same to get a lovely effect on your sea that the cottage is overlooking. And that's it for today. Tomorrow we are going to be putting in the greens, so we're going to be working with the sort of mountain and the hill that's behind the cottage, and we're also going to be working on the foreground. We're going to be working on this this garden area here. Again, working light to dark, which is what we're concentrating during this entire tutorial. But yeah, it should all end up into quite a nice picture once it's finished. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope it's a nice return for you to get stuck into a daily art challenge for the first week in January. I'm around, so if you have any questions at all, then please don't hesitate to message me, and I shall see you all again very, very soon. Goodbye.